So the big question is this: how do women over 30 struggling to lose weight and or looking to tone and lose unwanted body fat in those stubborn areas like the midsection, love handles, thighs, and upper arms, how do they build their dream bodies and keep their results long-term without surgery and without feeling like the only way to make it happen is to eat cardboard and broccoli the rest of their life? That is what this podcast is all about, and each episode is full of proven strategies that you can apply right away to create your dream body, allowing you to look younger, feel younger, and skyrocket your confidence. Welcome to the Transformation Secrets for Women podcast. So, are you ready to learn how laser lipotechnology works to lose weight in your midsection and the other trouble areas like the thighs and the arms? Over the next 5 minutes, I'm going to walk you through step by step on how laser lipotechnology works to lose that weight in the midsection and the other trouble areas like the thighs and the arms that just won't go away no matter what we do. Also, at any time, please feel free to go ahead and click right down below or head over to midsectionmelt.com to claim your complimentary midsection treatment and clinical consultation with us, where if we don't deliver you measurable results on the spot, we'll actually pay you $50 for your time. That's how much we believe in what we do here. Hey, it's Trev Bucheri, America's favorite weight loss and midsection fat loss expert, helping our patients lose well over 500,000 pounds and counting. Now I'm sharing the same transformation secrets with you that I've already used to help over 25,000 people. And today in this video, I'm going to teach you exactly how laser lipotechnology works for weight loss in the midsection, the other trouble areas also like the thighs and the arms. So let's get to it. So laser lipotechnology, LED lipotechnology, really synonymous in terms of their actual objective, which is losing targeted, stubborn fat, all right, in our trouble areas that just won't go away no matter what we do. So how does it work? All right, first things first, it's all about the application, how the actual technology is applied. We have a proprietary application and treatment method we actually call the CCP method. All right, that enables us to get much better results with, say, the same technology than, say, our neighbors who are using literally the same technology, because it's all about how the tool is used, not actually the tool itself. It's just like any of us could go on Amazon right now, let's just say, and buy the absolute best scalpel that money could buy, all right? If you don't know right now, I am not a surgeon, all right? So if I had that scalpel in hand, and then we had an all-star surgeon who had that exact same scalpel in hand, and you say, oh my gosh, I have to have an ankle surgery, well, there's going to be a complete different end result in my surgical experience that I'm going to be actually giving you compared to an expert who's going to be performing the surgery. I use the same analogy of I could put a race car in my driveway and say in your driveway, and then one in a race car driver's driveway, and it's going to be driven completely different in, say, Mario Andretti's driveway than it would be in ours. And that's really what it comes down to, is the application and treatment method of how the tool is utilized is everything for the end results. But speaking about how it actually works is like so. The actual technology wants to be administered to the skin, all right? So whether it's laser or whether it's LED, all right? So what happens is the light is then emitted, it penetrates and goes into the actual fat cells. And what that does is it actually creates mini holes in the fat cells and more or less actually temporarily ruptures it. All right, so it's more or less if you have like a baseball hat on and you take that off, it temporarily ruptures it. And then there's contents inside of the fat cell, which is water, fatty acid, and glycerol. And once that's actually opened and temporarily ruptured, the contents then actually end up spilling out into the body. And you might be saying, well, where does it go? What happens? Is it dangerous when that happens? And the answer is no, it's not dangerous at all, because our body actually naturally gets rid of it in 4 different ways. Number one, we utilize it as energy right away. It goes into our bloodstream. We can use it as energy right away. All right, that's number one. Number two, some of it actually goes right through our sweat glands. All right, so it dissipates that way. Number three is some of it also goes into our body's what's called lymphatic system. And that's our body's internal natural waste system right here, all right, inside of our body. And then number four, some of it is actually dissipated through natural excretion processes, all right? So that's actually how we get rid of the contents from the fat cells. And essentially what the technology does is it actually takes our fat cells from the size of a grape down to the size of a raisin, all right? Because let's just say we have, a group of fat cells, and we say it's, here's 5 fat cells. All right, but at the same time, we can actually say, well, and they're all this size. Well, what happens if we then take those same 5 fat cells and we now have them all this size? It's going to be a completely different look just because of the fact that the actual contents, the fat cells, has now been emptied. And that's exactly how the technology works. And that being said, another question we get is, well, how do we get such better results than our competitors? Well, like I mentioned, we have our application and treatment method, which we call the CCP method. So that's one way, but we also actually have many complementary tools and methods that we use with our proprietary process for accelerating our patient results that we've really found have complemented the laser quite substantially. And today I actually just want to share a few of those with you. So first things first is going to be HIIT training. So high intensity interval training, just for a short interval of between 4 and 5 minutes after each of our treatments. And this is really going to actually be right after our treatment, and then ideally a couple times in between treatments, because in terms of the actual laser lipotechnology, it tends to actually keep that temporarily ruptured fat cell for roughly between 54 to 72 hours, depending upon the technology. The better the technology, it keeps the fat cell open for a longer period of time, and more of the internals can actually dissipate and basically get excreted by the body, per treatment, I guess you could say, right? The next method that we actually use, the next tool that we use to complement our results is what's called vibration therapy. So also after our treatment, our patients will jump on what we call our vibe therapy plate. And what happens is this actually vibrates the body from the feet all the way to the top of the head, and it does it at a very, very high rate, because here's what happens. The contents of the fat cell that we talked about, once the fat cell is temporarily ruptured, we have the internal contents, which is fatty acid, water, and glycerol, and the internal contents are a little bit sticky inside the fat cell, so they tend to actually stick to the actual wall, the internal wall of the fat cell here. So when the vibration therapy goes, all right, what happens is it actually knocks the contents away from the actual internal cellular wall. And what that does is it enables the actual contents to easier dissipate into the body, and then our body can do its job to actually get rid of it, again, through excretion, through sweat glands, through the lymphatic system, and also be utilized as energy like we talked about before, those 4 methods of what happens to the actual contents. Another method that we use is called dry brushing. This is amazing, and it's actually going to be literally using a dry bristle brush and moving more towards the area of the heart. That's actually what we're doing here. And what this does, this actually helps support lymphatic drainage. So this is our lymphatic system that we talked about in terms of where some of the contents do go, is in our internal waste system, aka our lymphatic system. And when we do the dry brushing, it helps to actually support lymphatic drainage, and it actually supports and promotes, I should say, the stimulation of lymphatic fluid flow and the circulation to actually speed the removal of the waste itself. Pretty amazing. It also helps the flow of the lymphatic fluid through the skin by actually unclogging pores as well, so that more can actually be dissipated through the sweat glands and through the pores. And it helps actually decrease fluid retention as well. So it's an amazing thing, dry brushing. And another one I want to share with you is also compression garments. Now, these are amazing because they actually help to enhance the overall effectiveness and also just optimize the results of the laser lipotechnology overall in general. They help to minimize inflammation in between treatments, and they also actually help to promote that lymphatic drainage as well on top. So there it is. There are, first things first, there is how the laser technology works. And here is actually some of our proprietary methods of how we're actually able to accelerate the results for our patients here. So now you know exactly the ins and the outs of how laser lipotechnology works for weight loss in those stubborn areas like the midsection, the thighs, and the arms. Thank you so much for joining me. And go ahead, click right down below, head over to midsectionmelt.com to claim your complimentary midsection treatment and your clinical consultation with us, where if we don't deliver you measurable results on the spot, we actually pay you $50 for your time. That's how much we believe in what we do. And also, I'd so appreciate it if you'd please follow or subscribe. Again, my name is Trev Bucheri, and thank you so much for investing your time with me today, and give your best to the rest of your day. Take care. Thank you so much for listening today. And if you found value here, please go ahead and follow or subscribe. And also, please take a moment to share it with anyone you feel would benefit. Now, also, don't forget, as your free gift just for listening, you're able to claim your complimentary midsection treatment and clinical consultation with a value of over $250, where if we don't deliver you measurable results on the spot, we actually pay you $50 for your time. Simply go to midsectionmelt.com. That's midsectionmelt.com. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.